How are you, class? Today we are going to continue with our revision, and today I want us to revise on a question of probability. Remember, probability is a topic we cover in Form 3, and it is one of the topics which has to be tested in our national exams. Now, I picked one question, I picked one important question, which is involving drawing a tree diagram to represent the given data. Then we use the same data in answering the questions that follows. Now, let me try to read the question. Let me try to read the question of this probability. And the question reads, the probability that the three candidates, that is Mora, we have Nariaka, and we have Korea, will pass the mathematics test are. Now, we have the one for Mora to pass the test to be 3/4. We have the one for Nariaka passing the test to be 2/3. Then we have the one for Korean passing the exam to be 4/5, respectively. Then the question is, find the probability that all the three candidates will pass the exam. That implies Mora, Nariaka, and Korean will pass the exam. And we have the question number 2, all of the three candidates will not pass the exam. When we talk about will not pass, meaning all of them will fail, meaning all of them will fail the exam. Now we have Mora, Nariaka, and the Korean failing the exam or not passing for that matter. Then question number C, part of it, we have only one of them will pass. Only one of them will pass. Either if Mora passes, that means Nariaka fails and the Korean fails. If Nariaka passes, then that implies Mora fails and the Korean fails. And if Korean passes, that implies Mora and Nariaka fails. That is the meaning of that statement. Then only two of them will pass. That is question number D. And we have to look at the question, last question, question number E. At most two of them will pass. At most two of them will pass. Now, I want us to analyze this equation before we embark on answering these specific questions on subsections. Now, let us try to look at the question. The question has sort of tells that we have the probability of three candidates who are Mora, Nariaka, and Korea passing the exam to be given like this one. We have been given the probability for passing the exam. Then we haven't been given the probability of failing the exam. That's where we have, or we need to have some concept on how can we find the probability of any one of them failing the exam. Remember what we talked about? That a probability in convolution adds to 1. A probability to convolution adds to 1. This is a probability which is having only two options. It is either he passes, or else he passes, or fails. Now, if the probability for passing is 3/4, is the probability for passing is 3/4, for us to find the probability of not passing is 1 minus the probability of doing what? Passing. That is what we already discussed in class. I'm not going to do that one. That the summation of the possible outcome of a probability must always add up to 1. The summation of the probability outcomes or possible outcomes has to add up to 1. So that if you have given the probability for the others, for you to find the probability for the one you are not given, you minus 1 from the other option. Like this one, if the probability of Mora passing is 3/4, then the probability of Mora failing is going to be 1 minus 3/4. If the probability of Nariaka passing is 2/3, then the probability of Nariaka not passing or failing is going to be 1 minus 2/3, which is equivalent to 1/3. Then lastly, if the probability of Korean passing is 4/3, then for us to find the probability of Korean not passing or failing, it is 1 minus 4/5. That is how we can find the probability for not passing. Now let us try to draw a tree diagram, because that is the first thing we have to do. Draw a tree diagram. Now in our tree diagram, we are going to use this one for pass. This one is going to represent our pass, and we are going to use F, meaning fail or not passing. These are the activities we are going to use, so that we are going to use in our tree diagram, we are going to use P meaning pass, then we are going to use F meaning fail. We are going to use F meaning fail or not passing. Now let us start with the student A who Mora. Now we start with Mora. At this point we start with Mora. Then if we start with Mora, we go to passing. We have passing, and then we have not passing, which is the same as failing. Now we say if the probability of Mora passing is 3 over 4, we have probability of him passing with 3 over 4. Then the one for failing is 1 minus 3 over 4, which is 1 over 4. Such that if you had the two possible outcome, that is fail and pass, if you had this one for pass and the one for fail, the summation must give you 1. Then let us go next for Nariaka. Let us go for Nariaka. Also for Nariaka we have passing and we have failing. Now let us come to Nariaka. Nariaka passing with 2 over 3. Then the one for failing is 1 minus 2 over 3, which is 1 over 3. The same thing applies here. Whereby we have passing and we have failing. So that passing is 2 over 3, failing will be 1 over 3. Now we are done with Mura and Nariaka. Then let us go to Korea. Now we have Korea, we have passing and we have failing. Also we have here, we have passing and we have failing. In every outcome we have passing and we have failing. The nursery talk about passing and failing. This section is for Korea, this one is for Nariaka, and this one is for Mura. Korea passing will require 4 over 5, meaning the one for failing will be 1 over 5. We have 4 over 5, then we have 1 over 5. We have 4 over 5, 1 over 5, 4 over 5, and we have 1 over 5. Now that is the tree diagram. That is our tree diagram showing the possible outcome of Mura, Nariaka, and the Korea failing and the passing respectively. Now let us try to put the probability outcomes, or what we call samples, probability samples. Now in this case we have this one, we have passing, and passing, meaning all of them will be pass. This one we have passing, and we have failing. This one we have passing, passing. If we come to this one, we have passing, failing. This one we have failing, passing. This one we have failing, passing. This one we have failing, passing. This one we have failing. So this is the probability samples. That is the probability samples, or the possible outcome out of all of these probabilities. We have pass, meaning 3 of them pass. This one we have 2 of them passing, 1 failing. This one we have 2 of them passing also, 1 failing. 1 passing, 2 failing, 1 failing, 2 passing, 2 failing, 1 passing, 2 failing, 1 passing, and all of them failing. Now let us go back to the questions. Now if we have to go back to the questions, then we have question number A. Our question number A was reading, find the probability that all the 3 candidates will pass. So we go to where we have pass, because all of the 3 are passing. So in our section A, in our question A, we go for passing, and passing. We go for passing, and passing, which is equivalent to 3 over 4 times 2 over 3 times 4 over 5. times 4 over 5, which is giving us how much? If we do this one, we are going to have the answer. We are going to have the answer to be 2 over 5. We are going to have our answer to be 2 over 5. Now this is the probability that all the 3 candidates are going to pass this mathematics test. Now let us move to question number P. Whereby it is saying all the 3 candidates will not pass. Meaning all the 3 candidates are going to fail. Now this was a one for passing. The one for 3 of them failing. Is what we have here. Failing. So section number P, we have F, meaning all of the 3 of them are failing. Because I say all of the 3 of them not passing, meaning all of the 3 of them are failing. So we are going to have 1 over 4 times 1 over 3 times 1 over 5 which is going to give us what? Which is going to give us 1 over 60. Now that is the probability. That is going to be our probability that the 3 of them do not pass or they fail the test. Let us move to question number C. Now question number C is saying find the probability that only one of them will pass. Now we want to look at the situation whereby only one of them is passing. Because they are telling us find the probability whereby only one is passing. Now if we have to look on the probability only one is passing, this is one of them. We have this one. Yeah, we have this one. Because one of them is passing, 2 failing. Also we have here whereby only one is passing, the 2 failing, and also we have here only one of is passing, 2 are failing. So we go to the probability samples or probability space where only we have one P. Because P is standing for pass, and wamesema only one of them will pass. Find the probability that only one of them will pass. So the probability where only one is passing, we have, this is question number C, we have P, fail, or we have F, P, F, or we have F, P, whereby plus only one of them is passing. And remember, in our probability definition or terms, or means a plus. So we go to the one which is pass, fail. So we are going to have the one for that one. So this is going to be 3 over 4 times 1 over 3 times 1 over 5. Plus, because I said or means plus, we have this one 1 over 4 times 2 over 3 times 1 over 5 or we have plus, we have 1 over 4 times 1 over 3 times 4 over 5. That is what we are supposed to have. Under this one. Then another one now. Then here after doing this one, now we can calculate this one. If we work out this one, this is like 1 over 20. This is like 1 over 20. Then plus, if you work out this one, it is like 1 over 30. Then plus, lastly we have plus 1 over 15. Which is going to give us how much? If you work it out, this is going to give us what? 3 over 20. This is going to give us 3 over 20. Now that is the probability. That the only one of them will pass. Now I want us to look on section number D. Number D is saying only 2 of them will pass. Only 2 of them will pass. Now, if we have this, let me use just the smallest space remaining here. Let me use the smallest space remaining here. Where we have only 2 of them passing. Only 2 of them passing. We go to the one. We go to the one which is having 2p. 2p. The one which is having 2p, we have it here. We have it here. We have it here. The one which is having 2p, we have it also here, and we have it here. The one which is having 2p. The one which is having 2p. So number D part of it, whereby they are saying the probability of only 2 of them passing. So we have P, F, or we have P, F, P, or we have another one, F, P, P, F, P, P. That is the possible probability we have. As long as we have 2 passes, we just use that one. If we have this one, this is the same as 3 over 4. This is the same as 3 over 4 times 2 over 3 times 1 over 5 plus we have this one we have 3 over 4 times 1 over 3 times 1 over 3 times 4 over 5 plus we have here the last one 1 over 4 times 2 over 3 times 4 over 5. This is going to give, if we work it out, this is going to give us 1 over 5 plus 1 over 10 plus 2 over 15 plus 2 over 15, which is going to give us what? Which is going to give us 13 over 30, which is going to give us 13 over 30. That is question number D. Now, lastly, question number E. We have at most 2 of them will pass. At most 2 of them will pass. Now, that one, at most 2 of them will pass. When we talk about at most 2 of them will pass, it means either 2 of them passed, 1 of them passed, or none. So the only exclusion is when 3 of them are passing, because they are saying at most 2, they were 3. So when we talk about at most 2, that implies either 2 of them passed, either 1 of them, or none. So the only probability which is exclusive is 3 of them passing. So for us to find the probability of at most 2, it is 1 minus the probability of the exclusion, which is the same as 1 minus the 1 for 3 of them passing. The 1 for 3 of them passing was 2 over 5. It's 1 minus 2 over 5, which is going to give us 3 over 5, which is going to give us 3 over 5. That makes the end of our revision. In the next revision, we are all going to look on another question. Thank you, and have a nice day ahead.